First, before we get into the video, I'm going to change things up a bit and ask you to please like and subscribe, because I'm grateful for every single one of you. Just wanted to say that, and now on to the video. Alright, welcome to Devlog number 3 of my RPG game series. If you haven't seen my first two, then please go and give them a look. Thank you. So, first of all, I drew a new character for my game. His name is Captain Curtis. He's supposed to be a sort of proud guy who thinks he's the best and looks down at everyone else. I made sprites for all his directions and walking and different interactions, because he's going to be one of the main characters, so he'll be doing a lot of stuff. Then I decided to try to compose a theme for him. I jumped into Basquiat and started placing out notes. I made one song and wasn't really satisfied with it, so I went and composed another one. I was happy with how the new one sounded. Then I went into Unity and started making his introductory cutscene. The way it was going to be was that when the player would walk over to a certain place, Kurt would walk over and ask him to get over here. The player would run over, Kurt would talk a bit more, and then walk away. Then you go back to playing. Then it was time to start coding. I pulled Kurt out into the scene and put him where I wanted him to start. Then I created an animation for him and started animating. It was really nice and easy. I just pulled him around where I wanted him to move, and pulled in the correct sprites to his sprite renderer to make him change sprites to look like he's walking. Then I made a script called Animation Start Conversation. In this script, I'll make a public void that the animation will call when the conversation should start. I made the dialogue object and started writing what he should say. I want him to be kinda like Groose from Skyward Sword. You know, cocky, proud, but eventually realizes he's not the hero of the story, and then just becomes the hero's best buddy. It's a great character arc, and it'll be fun to put together. Then I made a script called Turn On Object When Is Finished, which is exactly what it'll do. It'll check if the conversation is finished, and then it'll turn on an object. Then I made the object for the script to turn on, which will be a player that'll walk over to Kurt when Kurt's done talking. I tried making him have some AI and go to where the player is and then walk to a walk point, but I settled to just make it be an animation of him walking down like Kurt. Now that that's all working, I need to make another script to start Kurt talking once the player has walked over to him. So I went over to the cutscene player and added a script called Turn On Object After Animation. I made a void that'll turn on an object like I did previously and called the void in the animation. Then I copied Kurt and gave him a different animation so that he'd look at the player and then start talking. Once I had the animation done, I copied the dialogue object and pulled it into the new Kurt scripts, so he'll turn it on when he's finished his animation. Great, then I just added a few more frames to Kurt's starting animation to make it look more smooth. Then it was time to make the trigger to start the conversation. I made a little area where it would be, then after creating the trigger object, I gave it a script to turn off the player and turn on Kurt when the player enters it. Once that was all working, I made another Kurt for when he would walk away. I gave him an animation and a new script called Back to Play After Conversation. This script will turn back on the player and turn off the cutscene player, and it will also turn off Kurt. Now, I can walk over into the trigger, which will turn on Kurt, and he'll walk over, and the cutscene will play out, and then he'll walk away, and you go back to playing. Then I made it play his theme when you're talking to him, and then go back to just the normal background music when he walks away. Everything is working just great. But I wasn't really happy with how Basquiat sounded. In some ways, it sounded great, like for boss themes. But for other stuff like the piano, it just didn't sound good at all. So then I started trying out another free and better music program called MuseScore, and its instruments sound really good. So I started composing music in it. Then I thought I should remake Kurt's theme but in MuseScore. I did, and I don't know which one really sounds better. I'll let you decide. Here are the two. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is the MuseScore one better with more realistic sounding instruments, or is the Baskerville MIDI OPC sounding one better? I want to hear your honest opinions. Let me know what kind of details to Curtis's background story you think might be cool. And again, I have not written the story for this game, so feel free to put what you think might be cool in an action RPG like this in the comments down below. But with that, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Good journey.